Hi friend! Today I wanted to share with you how to balance work and travel as a digital nomad. This is something that I have personally struggled with for a very long time. I tried all of the productivity techniques and it was either too much work or too much travel, and I could never find that balance. And I'm sure in the future I'm gonna have more techniques and more things to keep into consideration, but for now I found the main 4 things to consider as digital nomad, and it completely changed my life. Let's go. The first thing to consider if you want to balance your work days and your travel days as a digital nomad is to set boundaries. How much time can you realistically commit to your work and to your travel days? This doesn't necessarily have to be a 50-50 or a 20-80. It can be whatever you want. But there are 2 things to consider. If you're working for a company or more than a company, how many hours are you required to work for them? And number 2, if you run your business or if you freelance, how much time do you roughly need in a week to be able to finish projects, complete client work, or just do tasks within your business that you need time and focus to complete. So once you have that number, it's so much easier to plan your week. Whether that is 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week, 40 hours a week, for the remaining hours that you have in the week, don't just split everything else into travel, because we will see later how this is not beneficial, but just decide how much are you really committing to traveling and what does exploring mean to you? What kind of traveling do you do? Is it very adventure? You like to go on hikes or maybe multiple days hikes, or you just like to go to a couple of museums and to just walk into town? The kind of travels and adventures that you have will also determine the workload that you have. Can't expect to be productive after a 3 days hikes where you walked the whole day and had heavy backpacks on you. But you could be productive the day after walking through a museum for the whole day. So decide on your work hours as well as your kind of travel, type of travel activities, and try to make a balanced number. This will help you not only if you work for a company or if you have your business, but if you, like me, perhaps have multiple jobs or multiple passion projects that you want to still dedicate time to, but you don't know how to put it into your week. I like to visually time block all of these activities, especially work time for other companies, because this way I know those days are locked and loaded, I won't touch them, and I will also not book flights or change accommodation or do any other travel related activities on those days, so that I can fully focus on my work and complete those tasks faster. This brings me to point number 2, which is have routine. Now, I know routine always has like a little bit of a bad rap, but it's up to you to decide what routine can work and how can you implement that into your day. As much as I love traveling, and I think as with Digital Nomad we can all agree, we love that feeling of newness, adventure, exciting, and we're always surrounded by new cities, new countries, new culture, new people. So it's very easy to get lost into that stream of newness that you almost never wanted to end. Is so exciting. Having that morning or evening routine can really help you ground yourself and go back to a place of calmness and commitment. And you can also remember your goals and all of your objectives and whatever you want to achieve this year. It's very easy to just get lost and sidetracked from all of the things that we see outside and all of the people that we meet. That having a routine in place can really just help you recommit with yourself. Your routine is something that will be unique to you. It's something that it will change and develop over time, but ultimately you want a routine that can help you focus on something that is not work related, that will make you feel ready, energized for the day. I personally love to wake up and just do yoga meditation, maybe a little bit of journaling or reading a book, but this doesn't have to be your own routine. You can wake up and focus on your art. You can wake up and cook a delicious breakfast. Whatever you do that is a passion of yours that sometimes maybe you don't have time to do during the week because of work and travel, the morning routine is the place where you can do it, where you can have that time just for you, for your passion, your activities. This is why your environment plays a key role in all of this. Without a good environment, it's very hard to draw boundaries and it's super hard to commit to a morning or evening routine. Just like routine, this is something that will be unique to you, and only you will know what is the best environment for you to thrive in as a digital nomad. And it will also depend on the kind of adventure adventure that you want to have or the kind of activities you like to do when you're visiting a new country, for example. But if we focus on work environment specifically, then as a digital nomad you have unlimited possibilities. You could go for a co-working space, and those are great if you want to be surrounded by other remote workers and you want to have a place that is quiet, feeling very productive, and usually these places have super good Wi-Fi. It's also good if you want to run meetings or you want to have some phone calls during the day. Usually they have like a phone booth so you can just go there and talk normally. So it's almost like a home office and it would feel really good. It's also a good place to connect and just meet new people. Another good options are cafes. A nice way to blend travel into your workday. You can just go out, find a new cafe and explore that corner of the city. It's nice because you can get all of the food that you want, you can try local food, and I find that the sound and like the chatter that is in the background actually helps me focus. That being said, there are some cafes that are very noisy and not every cafe has good Wi-Fi. Another option that is so underrated is libraries. Libraries are free. I don't know why we keep forgetting about them. People go there to study already, so it's a very productive environment, super clean, there's no music. Sometimes you can eat, the Wi-Fi is super good. You can't necessarily take a meeting, or it will depend on the library you're in, but those are amazing places for just some quiet, focused, productive time. But of course, the best option, or at least for me, is just working from your home or your accommodation, which is why picking your accommodation as a digital nomad is the most crucial thing you could do, really. And of course, there are some limitations, for example, working in a hostel, which is why nowadays I love to book an Airbnb that has a clear separation between rest and work areas, ideally on a second floor or at the very least with a different room with a door so that I can just separate my work time to my rest time. Honestly, nothing beats working from home. However, it's good to change the scenery every now and then. What can be stressful is working from a different place every single day, and then when you work at home you only have a couch or you're working from the bed, and that becomes even more stressful. And the last thing to consider is no travel days. Have couch potato days where there is nothing else you have to do besides chilling on the couch or focusing on your hobbies, your passions, something that is not work related, that it's not necessarily productive. If you're somebody like me that I love all of the productivities technique, it feels like everything is a chore after a while, and especially when you're traveling, you feel like all of my day off should be spent traveling, when in reality I can have days for myself. I can even sleep in and that's still productive. At the end of the day, it's all about finding your own balance and understanding how can you remove all of the friction and all of the stress that comes from traveling. Traveling is amazing and it's super addictive. Sometimes the technicalities and all of the things that we don't get shown on social media, that sometimes feel like exhausting. I know travel involves times where things don't go your way, and I feel like the more you travel, the more you learn the lesson. But there are steps we can put in place so that we can make our life a lot easier, a lot more balanced, and a lot more relaxed, that don't necessarily cost anything more, and it's just gonna pay off in the long run. Let me know which point resonated with you the most, and if there is anything else that you would add to this list, just pop it in the comment below, and I'll see you next time.